Nebelwerfer crew. Heavy fighting in the west. Volksgrenadiers trying to do their best to stave off the Sherman and the airborne until reinforcements can arrive. Pack and Stug on the move. Stug apparently moonwalking or moon driving. I'm not entirely sure what that's called. Pack opening fire on the Sherman, forcing a retreat, and we see a M157mm anti-tank gun setting up as well. Further forces moving ahead. Mortar as well. Quite keen on keeping up the pressure and preventing the American from setting up a stronghold here. Stug and M Puma knocked out tragically. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers though holding the line still most courageously. Grenade going off among the airborne, causing heavy losses, and a counter grenade going off, forcing a retreat on my Grenadiers. But looks like the airborne team was completely wiped out. M4 Sherman barely making it out of there. The 57mm anti-tank on the Veterancy 2 still holding the line, but it's now going to face the dangers of mortar fire. And the riflemen just capping around, not trying to aid. Bit of a bad move, and we also see I have a Panzer 4 on the field, although quickly forced to pull it back since a anti-tank gun with veterancy is quite lethal as it gains more damage and penetration among other things, and combine this with, for example, armor-piercing rounds, and it gets quite nasty. Forcing a retreat on the Panzer 4 before it is completely wrecked, but did manage 2 kills. Grenade going off on my troops, and I opt for getting the King Tiger at this moment. Tiger 6 or Königstiger from the Schweder Panzerabteilung 503, ready to support the efforts of the Panzer Lehr in driving back the Americans from the lowlands. And here we... oh, where did we have it? There. A magnificent piece of German engineering, although bit of a gas guzzler and quite tough to maintain. Still dashing forwards with its high velocity 88mm gun and very thick sloped armor. Pioneers dodging around the machine gun team, although forcing them only into the building, taking away the victory point or not on retreating before they are completely killed, but they might be killed on retreat if unlucky. Grenadiers moving ahead to seize this victory point once more. I'm in a bit of a bad position with my victory points, but keeping the King Tiger at the front now and moving further troops here to hold this victory point. But at the same time, I don't want to leave this point open, since that means he'll just be able to divide my forces here and do with them what he wants at his leisure. Volksgrenadiers reinforcing, and we are hearing more Nebelwerfer fire. And oh yes, I did knock this bridge out earlier, and the American has been trying to repair it, but with Grenadiers and some Nebelwerfer fire I am harassing his efforts at this and leaving a small force to guard just in case this bridge is reopened, and at least give me some time to send in further forces. Currently laying down more wire and trying to reinforce and establish some positions, and some admonition from the Volksgrenadier sergeant to his men not to shoot each other with their MP40s. See Pioneers conducting some well-needed repairs on my Panzer 4, Panzerkampfwagen 4, and we see some recoil rifles being picked up by the Grenadiers for increased anti-armor capability. MG42 covering this victory point alongside this Grenadier team, which has also been given a Panzerschreck. And we see a renewed attack by the Americans, no armor support though. 2 M4 Shermans ready to do some damage. But now we see the riflemen moving ahead, finding a bit of an opening in the barbed wire. The Grenadiers do manage to see cover behind some established sandbags, and we hear MG42 fire raking down on the riflemen, heavily impeding their progress. Grenadiers pulling back against grenade, but the sandbags do some nice protection. Further riflemen moving up, causing a retreat on the MG42. but the Panzer IV dashes forwards, opening fire on the rifleman, causing some kills. Nebelwerfer fire ranging in on the other rifleman, leaving only behind this team, not as veteran as the other, and now mortar fire taking its toll on the rifleman as well. And once more a small excursion into enemy territory, once more trying to keep him off his foot and also focus on actually having to defend. Now we see a armored charge. 2 M4 Shermans, 1 veteran one, meaning it's going to be a bit faster, I do believe. Next it will be penetration, and third veterancy level gives it increased damage. But moving ahead, apparently, I'm going to suspect he actually knows about the King Tiger now, but apparently decides to ignore the fact that it's going to be able to react. Panzer IV holding the line. Pack changing sides as well, running right into a mine. 1 Sherman, and Pack opening fire on the rear as well. And now the King Tiger lurks in as well. Nebelwerfer going to be a bit of a nasty situation. Panzer IV really should get out of there, please. Panzer IV, get out of there. You're a credit to your fatherland. Don't die on me. Anyhow, pulling back, King Tiger moving in to take up the fight instead. Sherman quickly trying to get out, managing to decrew the Nebelwerfer, or if I suspect I might be right, once more the mortar team might have done it again. I'm not entirely sure whose side that mortar team is on. They might have to be interrogated for that. Setting down now a series of bunker emplacements. One's going to be a repair bunker, the other a machine gun emplacement. Since I'm quite aware now things are getting a bit more dangerous, and I'm going to have to try and free up as many men as possible to create a tactical reserve, and possibly try and use that to conduct a larger assault and seize this victory point. But the American digging in on this side of the river, setting up for a defensive position. Machine guns, Shermans and anti-tank guns alongside some airborne, making things a bit dangerous. Seizing my outmost positions here, which is going to deprive me not only of munitions but of population cap. Panzer IV once more undergoing repairs. Grenadiers launching a counter-attack but finding themselves a bit outmatched. Carries on nonetheless, but the MG firing on them is going to force them to retreat, since this is an untenable situation, particularly now that they've lost another grenadier. But going to encounter a bit of a problem reinforcing them, since I'm going to be lacking population for it. Nebelwerfer fire once more raining in on them, doing a bit of damage, and a forward supply drop. A bit risky if I, for example, were to capture, but that's certainly not going to happen. I don't think it's ever happened, actually. Could be fun though, but it's not the case. Grenadiers holding a watch on the bridge. American mortars setting up once more, and a small attempt at seizing this point, but the machine gun emplacement bunker is going to put a stop to that. What else is going on? The American can't, no upgrade for the supply yard. That would actually mean he could get more manpower per minute, so he really should consider that actually. But so far having that restriction on my populations is not going to be to my advantage. But massing for a counter-attack. Panzer IV still being repaired. Nebelwerfer moving in. And the Americans still holding the position. No attempt at repairing the Sherman though, but an attempt at taking this anti-tank gun once more. And the riflemen are finding themselves pinned down by this machine gun bunker. And the King Tiger, which are acting at my utmost anchoring point for my defensive line, the other part being here, and this being sort of still the main point of my efforts. Conducting a counter-attack, one pioneer team with a recoilless rifle, always fun, although not really suited for anything else than providing anti-tank support. Grenadiers and Full Grenadiers scattering up, going to make a bit of a dash and try and push them back and regain my population. Panzer IV taking losses. The anti-tank gun though has been left out, and we see a strafing run going off, killing numerous of my men. and forcing a retreat as the Panzer IV is still taking damage from the tank and anti-tank gun, but the Colress rifle fire knocking out the Sherman, and we see incendiary rockets raining down on the American positions, causing some losses but nothing too major, I'm afraid, so a bit of a waste. I suspect in fact only killed one man. Oh, there it did, knocked out the anti-tank gun completely, but still no population for me, so I'm a bit forced at this moment to use some depleted squads to try and push them off this point, and probably also a damaged Panzer IV. But these pioneers with their recoilless rifle did manage one Sherman kill to their name. Bridge is now open once more thanks to the American Engineer Corps. The Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers still holding on to the line, and we see the Grenadiers suffering heavy losses. The Panzer IV moving in now, Veterans 2 giving it a machine gun. Not really effective and not really the reason to get it at the moment, but rather the next upgrade, which gives armored skirts. The Panzer IV now moving in, and it's going to be quite the threat to the machine gun team. Although the machine gun is suppressing the Pioneer behind it, might even kill the Pioneer, although the tank is blocking for any shots. And now the machine gun has been cleared out. Airborne forced back from the central point. Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers still holding on to dear life, and Veterans 2 up for them as well, since if you can't make any new troops, have plenty of resources, you might as well, and of course you have the Kampfkraft Center, you might as well get some veterancy for your troops. Panzer IV dashing forwards, going to clear out that machine gun emplacement and be a bit of a nuisance to my opponent. Doing a bit of damage there, and looks like my opponent has completely given up on the left side for now. The machine gun bunker and the King Tiger being quite enough of a deterrent to any attempts by the Americans to seize it. Nothing further in the armor branch either, although further anti-tank guns going down now. It looks like my opponent has been more or less forced onto the defensive, having suffered rather large attrition, and the armored charge here rather breaking the last of his offensive backbone, leaving him without much to do, so that was certainly risky and of course did not pay off. Airborne moving ahead, probably going to try and fire up right past the bunker, since fire up allows you to ignore suppression, but now the King Tiger is using its quite long range to do some damage to the airborne, who are now on the other side of the bunker. King Tiger moving upwards, I suspect. Or not. Satchel charge going off on the bunker. Heavily damaging but not destroying it completely. King Tiger moving up. Pioneers trying to desperately hold the airborne tied up, fighting them, and the airborne are now down to one man. The King Tiger doing some horrible things to the remaining airborne, and completely wiped out. And we see an attempt at flanking this position being stopped by the American machine gun, leaving my Panzer IV still in a bit of trouble. Now Veterans 3 is up. It will take less damage from allied anti-tank weaponry for the infantry, and I do believe also take a bit less penetration.